or 11?
I can't deny it.
Okay.
I have to say, that sounds like it's on the door.
We're sounding quite close to Guy's feet here. Or if you were Kieran, you'd probably say you were crossing your toes in your shoes, actually, Guy.
Not anymore, he wouldn't.
This is true. Okay. Do you mean us harm? 2 for yes. Get ready with the boom. Do you mean us harm? Yes. Do you all mean us harm? No. So some of you do and some of us don't. Okay.
Somebody's been in here while this hospital's been developed. Somebody's been in here and somebody's been trying to call up spirits or whatever, and what they've brought in is something pretty evil.
So they've been messing about on Ouija boards and stuff like that, not knowing what they were doing, and they've brought in an evil...
And they've done it in this area here, and what they've done is they've opened it up and they've brought in evil spirits.
Yes, it's saying, did you get that? Matt, listen again, everybody stand completely still. Is that true? Did somebody conjure you up? Did somebody bring you in here? Are you evil? Do you wish us... Do you wish... What's that? Who's breathing very loudly?
I heard that.
There's no one... I'm not hearing any loud breath here.
No, we did.
We heard it, but it wasn't coming from us.
Not from this end.
Real...
Not from this end.
Okay, let's go. Keep...
What was you hear that?
Yeah, I did hear that.
No, I didn't hear what
That was a moan.
That was...
Can you play with us? Can you scare us? Can you touch us? Can you make noises with your voices? Can you slam doors? Can you throw things? We wish all of these things from you.
When you're talking,
Yeah.
there is definite movement coming from behind that door.
That's
Definite movement.
That's all right.
I mean, there is. I mean, you can. Kath can hear it, and it's literally every time you're talking, it's boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. So.
Can I just clarify something? Having been into that area, that actually is the only entrance. The other entrance to that area is a piece of wood that's actually been nailed onto it, so you can't get in. That is the only entrance.
That's the way I'm getting drawn.
Right, my suggestion is that we leave that area. I'd like to come back to whatever's behind that door, and I think if there is something really evil there, then let's do a Ouija board. If a Ouija board, I would have thought somebody would have come in and done, so they would have used a Ouija board of that. Then let's do a Ouija board in that area in a little bit. Do you agree, everyone?
Yes.
Fantastic. Right, let's move on back down this area, because it's always when we're walking that things get thrown, and when we're sort of talking and, you know, talking to you, Chris and Kieran, things might happen.
Okay.
Okay? So, which way, left or right? Right, let's go back down this way. Okay? So, just at the moment, you don't have any...
So the scene is set, the investigation has begun, and remember, we never stop filming here on Most Haunted Live. If anything happens during the break, you will see it right after this. Back soon.
I've got a heat source.
You have?
Yeah.
It's really, really hot.
It is.
In the centre, but like really hot.
This building has got a very nasty feeling to it. As soon as I walked into it, even though you can see it's been a hospital, there's a nasty, nasty feeling about this building.
Welcome back to Most Haunted Live. This is part 2 of our final investigation, and already we're getting a sense of foreboding at tonight's location. It's going to be an amazing night. Can I introduce you to 2 amazing people, our historians, our academics. Make them welcome, John Callow, Miriam Cook, who have done a fantastic job for us this week. Now, we've had lots of information tumbling towards you guys. You've sourced it, you've picked out what matters, and you've done your best to put some flesh on the bones. We've had some real great number hits this week, Miriam. We had Squadron 114, 141, and last night, it's a bit like bingo, 101.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about 101?
The 101 was a 1940s squadron here, and it was we had the mention of the French as well, which was quite interesting because it was a French squadron, and it was the Lorraine. It was called Lorraine Squadron, Free French Squadron, and it was formed here.
As in the cross of Lorraine, I suppose, the symbol of the Free French.
Yes. Oh no, I'm getting confused there. Sorry.
Yeah, the cross of Lorraine. Yeah, Joan of Arc.
Let's not have a domestic on the final night, okay? You've been getting on very well.
Sorry, no, because I'm mixing up. The French were the different squadron. They were the 342. They were the Lorraine, and they were formed in 1943.
But the 101 squadron were here as well.
Was the 1940 squadron. Yes, they were here, and Chris mentioned the German connection, but they did do some German bombing as well.
What was also fascinating, and Miriam's mentioned the French speakers there, was the sense that this place was a coming together of all kinds of people opposed to Nazism. Also, for the local community, a lady's just spoken to us from the audience, who's, I think, a nan worked here, or
That's
relative
right,
worked here.
in the NAFI, yeah. So today we look back on 1940 with very justifiable pride in this country. You know, as Churchill said, it was our finest hour. But the war engulfed peoples right across this continent, and of course there is no community perhaps more international than that of aviators. So after the fall of France, of course, French pilots came back, Belgians. It was a real multinational force. And if you look, I mean, one of the things is we trigger off ideas with people, but the books are there, the stories are there, and you read diaries like, for instance, René Mouchot, the great French air ace, and these are terrific stories of heroism in the force of great adversity. He flew his crippled bomber back from North Africa. You know, when the officers, the sort of the fifth column, had actually replaced the parts with the idea that the French pilots who were escaping to fight with us would actually crash in the sea. So these are, terrible conditions, but out of which great heroism came.
Thank you both very much for the time being. Let's turn now to you guys at home. You can be our eyes and our ears. We love getting your input on this show, Most Haunted Live. And here is Julian Clegg, master of all things interactive, to tell you how you can contribute. Julian.
Thanks very much indeed, Paul. And just to say, if you like Most Haunted Live, and indeed Most Haunted the series, you are going to love the new Most Haunted series, On the Road. Yes, the shows as of Saturday week at 9 o'clock are live, uncut, unedited, and completely raw and on the edge. It's going to be a very interesting series. Starts on the 23rd of January. Now let's talk about interactive tonight, and thank you very much indeed for all your input so far. Just want to mention all the people having the Most Haunted gathering on Twitter this evening. Great stuff, keep it going and keep the messages coming as well. And I've been mentioning this has been extraordinary live for interactivity with some fantastic stories and reactions, stories about West Raynham and stories about Morse code and interpretations of Morse code. Keep those coming again tonight, please. Now let's go around our interactive map on the website mosthauntedlive.net to show us where we are tonight. In the hospital, of course. There it is, and let's go through the 4 locations. Webcam 1 in the corridor on the ground floor. Webcam 2 tonight is in the X-ray room, also on the ground floor. Webcam 3 this evening in the decontamination stage 1, and webcam 4 in the decontamination stage 2. Now I want to keep an eye on those. You already are. Thank you very much indeed for those. And let's go through the webcams right now. Webcam 1, if we bring that up right now, a figure seated in the second row of chairs on the left, says Mandy in Basingstoke, and a dark figure is stood by the window, says Thomas from Thorpe. And Andrew in Sheffield says, I can hear really heavy breathing in the corridor, almost like a choking sound on webcam 1. The corridor tonight. Keep your messages coming on that. Webcam 2, you can see Carl there talking to the team about to start the investigation. Luke from Gosport, I can see a dark figure standing near the door. Also there's a man in the doorway looking around, says Jason from Bristol, and I've seen the face of a woman appear, said Dominic from Preston. I might add these sightings made before the team were in this room. That's webcam 2. Now, webcam 3, the decontamination stage 1, Angela in Liverpool, there's a uniformed officer sitting on the floor on the left side of the door, also a shadow in the corner of the room. And Damien from Southampton, the face of a man at the right-hand side of the airlock door, and he looks happy to be there. Damien, thank you. And moving on to webcam 4, decontamination stage 2, Kay from Letchworth says it looks like there's a cat sitting in the middle of the floor playing with something. Nicky and Dan from Leominster, there's now a figure of a nurse stood at bed 3, interesting. And Danny from Mitcham, I've seen a figure leaning onto the bed. I have a feeling the name is Edward. Good luck to the team tonight. So look at those webcams, send me your messages, interpretations of the sound. How do you get in touch? Well, you text the word screen and then the space and then your message to 80889. The text costs 50p plus 1 standard rate message. Don't forget you must be over 18 to get in touch via text. And of course you can go to the website to look at the map, to look at the webcams, to send your messages, and indeed to send your spooky photographs. Keep those coming as well at mosthauntedlive.net. Now we're also running a fantastic competition right the way through this live. Your chance to be at the next UK Most Haunted Live event and to go on a ghost hunting experience courtesy of Virgin Experience Days. You'll take part in an overnight ghost hunt with experienced paranormal investigators and clairvoyant mediums at one of the most haunted locations in the UK. So great prize and 7 runners-up walking off with tickets for the next UK Most Haunted Live event as well. All you have to do to win is answer this question. What was the name of the last